Alright, hello and welcome back to the Anime Happy Hour podcast. I'm Jonathan, and I'm joined here today by my two co-hosts. First off, we got Jakey.
Oh, back to first. Fuck you, Kirky.
For now. Until you piss me off again. And second, we've got Kirkland.
Not even implying that I'm not the least. Just says in second, we got Kirk. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay.
I mean...
You mean what? What, John?
Kirk, I think we need to band together. We need to band together and rebel against John. He's making these decisions.
I'd agree.
That's fine. You guys can do show notes, editing, uploading, the whole nine then. That's all.
Jakey, I think...
All
right.
Jakey,
we'll split it between the two of us and boot you.
Jakey, I think that you and I should just take over the next episode. Show them what we got.
We should record it without telling them.
Yeah.
Post it.
I mean, or if one of you guys want to go rogue and just do one good thing for me, then I'll just put you at the top of the list before me.
Ooh, there we go.
What do you mean? We make it interesting.
Yeah, I guess.
Johnny, you're always like the unbiased party here. Me and Jake bring all the commentary because we always shit talk each other. You're just like, yeah, I liked it.
You guys don't,
anime's good.
It's the same shit talk every week. It's Kirkland doesn't like One Piece. Jake
does.
Whoa!
I didn't say I don't like One Piece. I said One Piece isn't the GOAT.
Which is wrong.
Fuck off, Jake. We're not.
All right. Well, we haven't even made it past the intro this week, so I guess with that, in case this is your first time joining us, now that we've already gone on our tangent, we are the Anime Happy Hour podcast. Every week we get together, we pour ourselves a drink, per usual, and discuss the world of anime and what's going on in it. We have our own various thoughts and opinions, topics. From week to week, if you couldn't tell already. We are an adult podcast, so just, little heads up. We will swear, so.
I mean, shit, that's a little late for that, John, but okay, keep going.
Yeah, I've already sworn.
Hey, I mean, you guys already... that's not my control. As well as talking about new and recent events of new and old shows.
Kirk, how long do you think we could get him to be stuck in the intro?
I don't know. Can we keep him in the intro for like 5 minutes, maybe? I don't know. It'll be the longest one.
You guys literally just said before we recorded that you wanted to make it a shorter episode this week, so if you want to keep it running, keep it running.
The plans changed.
Now this is fun.
Things change.
All right, Johnny, pick up where you were.
Well, I gotta figure out where I was.
I think you need to start from the beginning.
Something about occasional swearing.
I think I need to pour myself a fifth drink. Well, we talk about events in new and old shows, so here's your spoiler warning as well. If you want to reach out to us, feel free. Just look up the Anime Happy Hour podcast on Facebook. You can email us at animehappyhour951@gmail.com. You can also check out all of our links at anchor.fm/happyanimehour03.
Have we actually gotten anybody to email us yet? Anybody that's listening right now, like, I don't care who you are. I don't care if it's me listening to this podcast in the morning. Like, somebody just email us, like, whether it's us emailing ourselves or not. Wow, this is getting confusing. Kind of like the show we're going to talk about today. But anyways.
Yeah, well, if you couldn't tell, we've been drinking for a little while. So, I guess we'll dive into what we've been drinking. Per usual, this isn't the Anime Happy Hour podcast without an alcoholic beverage, so... Jake, what do you got poured up in the glass tonight?
I've got a Peroni Italian beer.
Okay, going with the beers tonight.
Yeah, it's not the best, but I decided to go out of my comfort zone as far as the countries I normally drink beer from. Mm-hmm.
I got my trusty old Solo cup here, per usual.
With what, Pepsi and Crown?
Yep, Pepsi and Crown.
Of course you do. It's all you ever drink.
Hey, you said I had to step it up from my Stillhouse, so Crown's at least a little more expensive.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's also Canadian compared to the American-born whiskey you were drinking last week.
I was going to say, I'd rather see Stillhouse.
Facts, USA. Unless we have any international listeners, that'd be dope, but not holding my breath.
I think the
yet.
last time I checked, we actually have 2 listeners in Canada.
I mean,
Sorry.
Maybe 4.
well, Kirk, what do you got going? Because I saw you had your fancy glass pulled out.
My fancy glass.
Trying to show us up.
No.
Your little whiskey glass.
I got in my fancy whiskey glass, I got some ice, and on top of that ice, I got some Pink Whitney, and on top of that Pink Whitney, I got well, I'm not gonna drink straight Pink Whitney. That'd be terrible. It's White Claw Surge.
Pink Whitney's great.
White Claw Surge cranberry with the Pink Whitney. It's actually pretty good, and it's better than mixing it with Sprite because I'm still just mixing alcohol with alcohol.
Yeah. Pink Whitney straight up is still legit. I'm just out.
Yeah.
You know? I don't have to.
This at least makes it a little bit bubbly, so I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you.
And the White Claw Surges are pretty good.
White Claw gang. Well, I guess with that, we'll dive right into our weekly updates, what we got going on, what we've been watching. I know Jake did a lot of catching up over the last 24 hours.
Sweet.
So I guess we'll start right off with him.
A lot may be an overstatement, but first I want to talk about one that I haven't finished yet, and it's not necessarily catching up, but the new JoJo season, Stone Ocean. I'm only like 2 or 3 episodes in, and prior to this, my JoJo experience is like season 1 and 90% of season 2, and I stopped, even though season 3 is the one I really wanted to get to. And then I just picked this up when it came out last week, watched a few episodes, and I'm locked back into JoJo. I'm going to go back and watch it all.
That's the cool thing about JoJo's, though, is that you don't really need to watch every arc. Like, some arcs are definitely better than others. The first 2 arcs are arguably the worst. The arc before this was...
The second one just bored me.
Yeah, the second one was kind of the last...
Yeah, but they're all on their own premise, so like they all kind of follow their own storyline.
Yeah, the last arc right before this, Golden Wind, that one was really good.
I want to meet, what's Jolene's dad's name? Josuke?
Yeah.
Josuke Kujo?
Mm-hmm.
Everything, like every meme or anything about JoJo I've seen is all about him, and he's in season 3, right? What is that? I don't remember what the title of it is. But, so I really wanted to get to that, but I just got bored in season 2 and stopped watching.
Yeah. I don't remember his name. That's the first, Jotaro is the first time that they introduced stands.
Oh, Jotaro.
Yeah, Jotaro Kujo is who you're talking about. But, that's when they first introduced stands instead of Harmon.
Yeah. So watching Stone Ocean's the first time I've seen a stan, and everything I'd seen before was, what's it called, Harmon?
Yeah. Yeah, they harness the power of sunlight or whatever and go, and beat the shit out of vampires. Or, well, kind of vampires.
Yeah. Yeah, I just like the style of it.
Ow, that hurt. I don't know how they do that.
Anyways, so that was the first one, and then caught up on Mushoku Tensei. Did you guys see the newest episode?
Yep.
Yeah, so I think we should take a second to talk about that.
Rudeus getting his shit kicked in, being a fucking dumbass.
I don't want to talk about that. Fuck Rudeus. Let's talk about Ruijerd versus whatever the hell his name is.
Ruijerd versus...
It wasn't much of a fight either.
What?
I know, but the little fight it was awesome.
Orsted?
The animation was, like, phenomenal.
Oh, Orsted versus Ruijerd. It didn't even last long, though. Ruijerd just got his shit kicked in.
Yeah, I know, but, the guy's obviously super overpowered and badass, but I'm talking about, like, you see him come in real quick, and then Ruijerd pushes them both out of the way and blocks it with his spear, and then they have, like, their little fight, and it just looked real cool.
Yeah.
And, I'm honestly impressed he stood up for as long as he did.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of crazy the fact that, like, even the man guy was like, yeah, he's the most powerful, like, ever. Like, he could destroy the world if he wasn't cursed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the reason he is cursed. But you forget, though, I'm not that surprised that Ruijerd held up that long, because the man god later goes on to explain, if you don't forget, the fact that Ruijerd is he has what is it, Laplace's curse, Laplace.
Yeah, well, his weapon, it was all put into
spear.
the weapon, his spear, and his curse is wearing off because he shaved his head. And the curse is all based off of like
Laplace having green hair.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know if that would help or hurt him, but
the dragon god did compare Rudius to Laplace at one point.
Yes.
Yeah, saying his mana levels were just as good.
Yeah.
If not better. I mean, that crazy fireball Rudius came without at the end, though, was kind of wild.
Sick.
Like, crazy. I mean, it was still good. Dude, as soon as he said something, I was watching it. I was in a party talking to Kirk at the same time I was watching the episode. And as soon as Rudius brought up Paul, I was like, "Oh, this is going sideways." Because nobody likes Paul.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we like Paul, but at the same time, like, everybody in like
Paul's an
the
asshole.
actual show hates Paul. Like, you haven't met anybody who's like, "Oh yeah, I love him. He's a great person." It's always like, that piece of shit. Like,
well, a lot of dudes like Paul. It's the women that have a problem with him for obvious reasons.
I mean, yeah, but either way, I mean, still, I like the episode. It was a good episode. I mean, if you know anything about the light novel, the next episode is going to get real spicy. Mm-hmm. Me and you were talking about this earlier, Kirk, or Jake, whoever. I was talking to somebody about it.
Yeah, it was me. Literally 15 minutes ago.
Like I said, I've been drinking a little bit. It's all right.
Yeah. What is it, John? Spit it out.
Oh, Rudius is about to get his thing on. Lose his V card in the next episode.
Oh.
It's already been... Anybody who... Well, if you've actually read if it follows properly, it follows the light novel, which the picture that was teased for the next episode, it does follow the light novel. But, yeah. He loses his little V card and...
Oh, boy.
I'm hoping they don't, actually animate that.
Yeah, I don't know. They're both super young, so I'm hoping that,
Yeah, they're
they don't.
13.
Yeah.
Or she's 13
13,
and he's
14.
12.
No, I think she's older. She's like 14 or 15 at this point. She's like a
Well,
year
he
too
said
older than him.
he said we had to. I needed to survive for 2 more years for that promise, and the promise was when she turns 15, so she has to be 13.
Okay.
And he's a year
Yeah, well,
younger,
it's also
so he would be
sometimes
12.
hard. It's hard to tell the time frame too.
Yeah.
Because at one point next thing you know, I blink and it's been 3 years, but really it only seems like it's been a few weeks.
Yeah.
Because they also said it in the beginning of the show that they celebrate birthdays every 5 years, not every year. So, it's not like they would talk about a birthday every time that a year came through.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So, but either way, yeah, it would still be very, very awkward to watch that go down. But I don't think that they're going to fully animate it. I think they're going to give some teasing, but they didn't fully animate it when, the blonde chick in Roxy's party was out there having sex with everybody.
Yeah, but she's also 30 or 40.
Yeah, but they didn't fully animate it. That's what I'm saying. So, if they don't do it with the adult, I'm assuming that they
didn't.
Yeah.
They haven't really yet. The first episode with his parents was the closest you got to that.
Yeah, and when he was Rudius was spying on what's her name, the maid.
Regardless, the show likes to put it right on the line of okay, this is almost too much. I'm almost sick of this. For me personally, it goes a little bit too far usually, but beggars can't be choosers.
I mean, he is his father's son. I'll tell you that much.
Yep.
I don't know if it goes too far. There's just some points where it's cringy to me. There's a certain level of the perverse mindset that can be funny, and then you can overdo it, and I feel like the show overdoes it a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Not saying that it's not a great show, and the story is phenomenal.
I mean, Jake, I sort of brought this up with you. I mean, Kirk kind of gave his input to me yesterday, but who do you think's winning the Love Square?
I mean, we already know this from manga, I'm pretty sure, but yeah, Jake, go ahead.
I don't think it's even made it that far.
Yeah,
harem,
because it's not completed.
Harem ending.
Yeah.
What's up?
Harem ending.
Yeah, Jake said all three.
Yeah.
Or potentially a fourth if we ever meet one.
I don't think there will be a fourth. I think it's just going to be the three.
I'm just saying, I can't... here's why I can't imagine it, and I can't imagine it being Sylphie. Because we haven't seen her since, like, the third episode. Which is why I don't think it can be, but it also could be, because that's like a twist, you know what I mean? Like, she comes back in and they become a thing.
Yeah, my only thing is the fact that, like I said, he hasn't talked about... Like, she hasn't been brought up at all. Like, it's not even like an inner monologue comes up.
Who, Sylphie?
Yeah.
To where, like, he's like, oh, I miss Sylphie, or whatever. It's just...
She's come up a couple of times
I would like it to
recently.
be Eris.
Yeah, when he saw his dad, and, like, he was talking about home, but, like, on a day-to-day, like, he thinks of Roxy all the time.
Yeah, my only thing about that, and, you know, her being a demon makes it different, but she's, like, hundreds of years old, and he's 12.
Yeah, well anime's
technically,
done weirder,
like 40.
so...
But I just think
definitely
Eris would be the best option. That's how I would write it.
I like Eris, but it might be just because we've gotten so much time with her and seen, like, the progression.
Now that I think about it, they'll probably kill her off.
Oh, 110%.
Sylphie or Eris?
End up with Roxy.
Eris.
No.
They're not going to kill off. They're either going to kill off Roxy or Eris. 100%. One of them's dying.
I think they kill off one of the sisters. I think that's what happens.
I mean, I definitely know that there's got to be some sort of death coming up by the end of the second season. We're on episode 21.
Maybe
That
it's
just
his
dropped,
mom.
So
It's the only one we haven't found. Maybe his mom is dead.
true. There's a good chance of it. But like I said, we have 3 episodes left before the end of the season, so something's bound to progress pretty soon.
Yeah. Alright, anyways. Next one. Finest Assassin. You
Yep.
guys seen the newest episode?
Yes.
Kirk?
Yes.
Yes.
Is that the one? Was there one that dropped?
He just goes on a date.
Did you watch the end credit scene?
Remind me.
I'll take that as a no.
I think I did.
I'm checking my. I did not watch the newest episode. I watched the one before that. I thought that. I keep forgetting the days all these
Jake,
released,
what
so
happens?
I wasn't sure.
What did I miss in the end?
The end credit scene is Lou's dad
Yep.
telling him he walks in on his dad healing like a wounded soldier and says, "This man just hired me, or just hired us. You need to assassinate someone. The daughter of Count Vercone." And then it ends.
Oh, so
Which
the
is
girl
Dia.
that he... Yeah.
His girlfriend, the girl he wants to marry, he's got to assassinate her now.
Oh damn.
That's going to end poorly.
I'll bet you $20 he does it.
That he does it or doesn't?
Does do it.
I bet you 20 he doesn't.
I bet you 20 he doesn't. I mean, unless you've read it. Well,
I haven't
but,
read it,
I mean,
no.
the only thing is like he's had that inner monologue over the last few weeks, like few episodes of him like wanting to make his own story and like make it so that he's making his own decisions about the people he kills instead of just being a pawn for like the higher being like he was in his previous life.
Yeah, I know. I'm just assuming with the way she turned at the end there and all that, that she's the noble that is leading the uprising, the rebellion, causing the civil war, killing a bunch of people, and he's going to have to put her down because a lot of people are suffering because of it.
I feel like there's going to be a chance that he learns that there's a little bit more detail to all the killings he's already done, or like that he knows about, that, you know, it's spinning a narrative for a certain direction, and that some of these people aren't as bad as it's made out, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just feel like they're definitely pushing the narrative that he wants to, you know, make his own choices as far as who he kills and what he does in his life at this point. Plus, he's there to, you know, kill the hero, not kill... Well, not... I mean, yes and no, but that's got to be coming up pretty soon, too.
Yeah, well, we just found out, like, the heroes fighting in this war.
Yeah. I don't know. It'll get interesting. The show is... I like it. It was kind of a surprise for me.
All right, next one. Demon Slayer. We can't not talk about this.
Yes.
How great that first episode was, and how wonderful I liked it. Jake, what are your thoughts on the first episode?
I enjoyed it.
Did you?
It wasn't a bad episode.
I don't think it needed...
What was
I don't think it needed... There was nothing important enough for it to be a 40-minute episode. You know, it set up the arc. And this is one of my favorite arcs of the entire series, so I'm hyped.
See, I told John I was getting ready to roast you, Jake, because I was really going to hope that you're going to be like, oh, I loved it. I'm so happy it was a 40-minute episode, this, that. I was really hoping you were going to say that, because you were shitting on Overlord for having too much exposition. That 40-minute episode could have been 20 minutes without all the exposition that they had.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It was, wait, what exposition are you talking about? The stuff with the little brother?
What? Oh, yeah, there was all those stuff with the little brother. I feel like that wasn't necessary yet, or they just didn't do it right. I don't know. That scene was... It didn't have to be the way that it was. They spent too much time
It was done
there.
better in the manga.
Like, all they needed to do... All that needed to happen was he needed to talk to the little brother. Little brother just needed to tell Dad, hey, big brother Rengoku said take care of yourself. And then the dad cries, and that's all that needed to happen.
Yeah.
Didn't need everything
I don't know. I think the point of it is to just flesh out Rengoku a little bit more. And all the struggles he had to deal with his dad being an asshole.
Yeah, and I mean, I got like My Hero vibes from it.
Yeah.
Like him, like being this big bad, and like not big bad, but like a badass, like asshole dad that kind of like still has feelings for his kids, even though he doesn't, you know, portray it.
Yeah.
How do we feel about the few scenes that were questionable that everybody's been talking about?
Well, first of all, the scene with his wives. Well, the ass slap was not necessary. I'll put that in there. That was not necessary at all.
That made me so uncomfortable.
But
as if the feminists weren't gonna go off about this episode in the first place.
Yeah, like the over-the-shoulder thing is fine. He's like kidnapping her technically and stuff. But at the end, instead of just putting her down, giving her a slap on the ass, that was unnecessary. But
yeah, literally while she's still over his shoulder.
Just like,
yeah, and then they like someone. Just think about it. A Foley artist had to create a sound effect for that.
Yeah.
And then the thing with the wives, I don't have a problem with it. I don't know why anyone has a problem with it. Polygamy is a thing in the world, in America even. And who gives a shit? It's a fictional character.
yeah, I agree with that.
Oh, speaking of which, Jakey, you see, you were talking about this the other day, but the show that was like the
Sister
TLC
Wives?
show that, yeah, I don't know, one of those shows about like, I'm trying to think, but one of the the show is the TLC shows. One of the guys just got arrested for having child pornography.
That's from the Duggars. That's the family with like 15 kids or 17 kids. Yeah, he's like the oldest one.
Yeah, he just got arrested for child pornography.
Yeah, my mom's super into all that shit. She talks about it all the time.
I mean,
not child pornography. The stories in the shows.
I was getting
I was gonna say something there for a second, but I'm glad you corrected that one.
Yeah.
So I mean, we've been watching anything else lately? You wanna know what I'd always started like 4 or 5 times, and I watched the first episode like literally probably half a dozen times. Was Plunderer.
I've seen the first like core. First 12.
Plunder sucked.
Yeah, it started off good for me, and then I didn't like where it was going.
It definitely started off good, and then like the second that like the other world got involved, it was like, all right, this is trash.
Yeah, I stopped watching the second the helicopter came.
Yep, that was such bullshit. The second the helicopter came, I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? This is so dumb.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It was always like, I always saw clips and I was like, oh, that show looks pretty good. And then I watched it and I was like, this is not that good. Like, I don't know. But other than that, I haven't been watching too much. Like checking my list as we're speaking. I did completely finish the League show on League of Legends show.
Oh, Arcane?
Yeah. It's got me so excited, and hopefully they just like keep it coming and just give us a new season.
See, you said
League has so much lore that you could actually really go have like a really successful like just animated series playing some of that shit.
So I'm hoping that it caught the traction that like it needed to like give them like make it so they get another season.
What'd you guys say? League of Legends? Oh, I lost interest already. Sorry.
Oh, stop!
Were you really waiting for the past like minute and a half to say that?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, likely you used to like League of Legends.
Yeah.
Just not.
It's not even the same game anymore. The game is fucking garbage now.
Well, it's not even that it's garbage. It's the fact that like people have a lot more time in their hands than we do, and it's a lot less like people can get away with playing it so much to where like they can keep competitive in it. But us, we're broke and we have to work 60 hours plus hours a week. You know?
Well, you do, and you're broke. I mean,
I am. You know, let's hope those sponsorships come through real quick on that.
I can't really say much. I bought veggie burgers this week. Hey, more people start listening to our podcast so we can eat food.
Expired veggie burgers.
You bought veggie burgers?
Jake, all right. You know what? We're not going to go there, boys.
Expired veggie burgers.
It doesn't matter if they're expired or not. Veggie burgers, Kirk?
They weren't that bad.
I've grown up with a vegan in my household. I know they're that bad.
Who the hell is vegan in your house?
Kay.
Oh. I didn't know that.
She's been vegan for a hot minute.
Whatever. To each their own.
Yeah, I know they're that bad, so I can vouch for them. They look like the shit you poop out after taco night.
Yeah.
In patty form.
Yeah. Well, after taco night, it's more of like a chocolate smoothie, but you know.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
All right,
our viewers are gone.
And we're wrapping the 2 viewers we had. No. I guess, do you have any other shows we want to talk about before we dive right into our news?
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead, Jake.
Oh, Jake.
I just want to point out real quick, we were talking about making this episode a short episode and not going on tangents and shit. And we're still basically in the introduction.
This is how it happens when we start drinking and just shooting the shit, you know?
I hate all of us.
What were you going to say, Kirk?
John, on to you.
You were going to talk about something you saw.
We covered just about everything. I mean, do we want to talk about the fact that Sarada is now a Chunin, and I'm upset?
I've lost interest. Carry
Yeah,
on. I'm gonna do
I
something
haven't
else.
watched the show, but I saw a clip that
What?
Sarda is the only one out of the Team 7 that made it to Chunin.
I've been like
Pretty good.
watching reactors go through from the beginning and like the original Naruto, just to like watch an abridged version, and it makes me hate Boruto so much more.
Yeah. Give me something good. I'll start it watching it again. I don't really care about the Chunin exams. I'll start watching it again if they give me a good war arc or like.
It doesn't surprise me
Big
that she's
fight
the
scene.
only one to become a Chunin. I mean, I see her as the most powerful one out of the three.
Well, she's an Uchiha.
Yeah.
Boruto's garbage.
Yeah, but she's still half
Sakura, yeah, but the other half
Sakura,
is Sasuke.
Yeah, but she's like, I don't think she has the balls to kill anybody yet. Like, she's still gonna have a level 2 or level 1 Sharingan until
Yeah, she needs to kill Boruto, and we can get on with the show as her the main character.
Yeah, but then she's got to.
That's fine with me.
Yeah, but then she's got to find somebody with an eye to kill, and there's not really many people left to kill.
Yeah, she could just kill Sasuke.
Sasuke, yeah, but come on, we all like Sasuke.
Fair enough, but if Boruto can take his eye, they've nerfed Sasuke to the point where he's no longer even a character.
Maybe he just felt bad for him. Boruto's Boruto.
It's Sasuke, dude. He killed his own brother.
It was a pity stab. Well, I mean,
You remember that time he
Kirk,
tried to murder his wife?
Yeah, well, I mean, shit happens. Sometimes they get on your nerves.
Remember the time that he failed to take out the most inconsequential character in all of Naruto?
Who's that?
Sakura.
Well, I mean,
Told me that happened
Kakashi
a few
was
times.
there. That's why he didn't do it. Kakashi being the 6th Hokage, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, and he still had his eye at the time.
Who, Kakashi or Sasuke?
Kakashi.
Yeah.
Prior war arc, but Kirk, have you watched any shows that you would like to talk about before we move on to our news that haven't been covered yet?
No. Yes. I don't know. Oh, what the?
that's that.
Hold on. No.
Hey,
I have it right here.
You gotta show up prepared.
You were just looking shit up on your phone. I don't want to hear it.
Well, at least I had my phone active to
My
look it up
phone
on.
is active. I recently
You fucking amateurs.
started.
I got
Yeah,
paragraphs here of notes.
I gave up my notes.
what's
Dude,
it-
I make the show notes. I don't want to do it again.
I recently began watching Soul Eater again, which is an anime that I forgot about,
okay.
which used to be extremely popular and used to have a cult following. I don't know what happened to it. I haven't heard Soul Eater mentioned in the last, 2 years. But for whatever
I
reason...
mentioned it to John last week.
Did you?
Yeah, the ending still sucks.
Yeah, I asked him because I never finished it, I asked him if I should finish it. He said no, the ending sucks.
The ending does suck. But it wasn't a bad anime. It is a good anime. And I'm happily...
It's
Yeah,
good
I like
all
the
the way to
first
the end.
half
Just
of
don't
it.
watch the last episode, and then just imagine what could happen.
Yes, I completely agree with
That's
that
your
sentiment.
better option.
Yep.
There's actually animators who are out there who made a better version
Of the
of
final
the ending
episode.
on YouTube.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh my... Oh, we won't go there.
Yeah. It's like putting Sakura at the end and just
It's like
that's how the final boss
it's like
gets beaten.
soccer.
Just
Yeah.
a little tap.
Yeah, it's like
Like
Little punch at the
Sakura
end.
standing next to Naruto and Sasuke.
takes out
Finally,
the
I've
10 tails.
caught up to you too. Oh, the fuck you have.
Literally, the final episode is just not it.
Yeah.
The whole show premises the user of the weapon and then the weapon as a person. The last episode, the last fight, the main girl, she was just like, fuck my weapon. I'm gonna beat this dude barefisted. Which is death. She's fighting death. With
So
a
she got
fist.
rid of Soul?
Well, Soul just wasn't around or something. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I've watched it, but Soul wasn't around. So she literally punched him. Punched death. And that's how it ended.
So what was the
He
point
died
of
from
creating a
punch.
death scythe?
She literally punched death with her fist, and that's how he died. Or that's how she won the fight.
I will say, I didn't finish it, but I did enjoy the show. But the best character, hands down, is Death the Kid.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one with the guns, right?
But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 2 guns.
And the OCD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, other than that, Kirk, you got any other shows to bring to the table?
Nope.
All right. Well, I guess we'll move right into our news. I'm sure this isn't going to surprise anybody, but I got the top 5 manga sales. The rankings have been revealed for the year. Number 1 being Jujutsu Kaisen. Not really too surprised. I knew it was either going to be that or Demon Slayer. But Jujutsu Kaisen sold almost 31 million copies over the last year. Demon Slayer was right behind him with 29.5 million. Not surprised. Tokyo Revengers following behind. Oh, I definitely messed that number up.
Way to go, John.
Dude, I just took it off the website. They must have messed it up. But Tokyo Revengers is number 3. Number got messed up, but I do know it's number 3. I think it was 22 million. I think I put a 4 instead of it. Yeah, it was 22 million. Almost 23 million. Number 4 on the list was Attack on Titan with 7 million copies sold. And number 5 was My Hero with 7 million copies sold.
I'm surprised My Hero only has 7 million copies sold.
And One Piece, I didn't put it on there, but One Piece was right behind at 6 million copies. Over the last year.
Yeah, well. You can't always be first.
Yeah, it would be a little surprising if, I mean, the newer shows, the big name shows of recent years, recent seasons, are definitely going to be the ones that have the most sold.
Yeah.
One Piece has its cult following, but, you're not going to get the big numbers like 30 plus million.
Well, with the difference is with Jujutsu Kaisen, that's because there was 30 million because the show came out and then everyone went and bought all the volumes. You know what I mean? With One Piece, the people that buy One Piece volumes are buying them one at a time.
Yeah, one at a time as they're coming out, especially at this point. Also, have you guys seen the price of the full, like, Demon Slayer, for instance? Like, the price of the...
like $250.
Yeah.
They're all sold out at anywhere I've possibly seen, and they're selling for 400 plus.
On what,
Jesus.
eBay, like secondhand? Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
For the box set. No, even Amazon.
Well, Amazon's all secondhand
350.
people. We live in a world where people scalp shit. I'm sorry, but if you're one of those people and you scalp
even if you buy it...
What?
Even if you buy it at Barnes & Noble, from Barnes & Noble, it is $343.
That's dumb. I mean...
For the box set.
That doesn't surprise me either, though. That's a lot of paper.
I mean, yeah, I'm not saying that, but, like, I don't know if it's $300 worth. I mean, I know people who have bought, like, Richie got it. Richie got the Demon Slayer set. He, like, pre-ordered it. And it looks dope. It's got, like, the cool box art set, and it's got, like, the individual stuff in it. And, like, it's sick. I don't know if I pay $400 for it. But
yeah, I read all that stuff on vismedia.com for $1 a month subscription.
Viz Media,
shout out.
Looking for a, we can shout you out every week if you need it,
Honestly.
Bring some viewers to the table.
Nah, Barnes & Noble, you can get... All right, I'm on Barnes & Noble's website right now, everybody. I am calling cap on this. It is $200 on Barnes & Noble, and they are in stock.
Originally, well, maybe I was looking at our Barnes & Noble.
Oh.
Well, Pittsfield's Barnes & Noble.
Just kidding.
But,
temporarily out of stock online.
Get fucked.
But, like, the
All right.
pre-orders originally, when they first came out, like, Richie paid $300 plus for it. And I've seen people online paying $300 for it off a pre-order.
That's wild.
Because I actually looked at the Assassination Classroom one, too, Kirkland.
Mm-hmm.
You'd like that one, because the whole
it's
box
all yellow.
is just...
I know, I have it.
It's all yellow, and it's got a smiley face on it. Like, but, yeah, none of this surprises any of us. So we'll move on to our second news article for the week. anybody who's watched Mushoku Tensei, we've talked about it a bit. We talked about it this episode. I don't know if we talked about it last week because we hadn't all caught up about it. But if you have caught up with it, you know about the Roxy figurine that was talked about in the episode a few times and shown off in the episode. Well, there's an exact replica in production that's coming out. And the diehard Roxy weebs out there who know exactly what I'm talking about, yes, it's going to be just like the show, and it's going to have a removable robe on the figurine as well.
This is why I hate Mushoku Tensei. I don't really, but, like, I mean, it's why I hate it. I hate its fans more than anything, and I'm a fan, so I hate myself. Well, okay, we're
I mean, it doesn't take a show to hate ourselves, but few of these does enough for us.
I think the show gives me a little bit of relief from hating myself.
Because I'm not that excessive.
I
just think it's kind of...
I mean, for those of you out there who are into that, you know, it's coming out.
Yeah. Let it be known, you will be judged.
That's not something you show off to people.
As of 2 weeks from now when Jake has it posted up on his shelf on the...
Dude, I'm getting a Roxy body pillow.
2 weeks from now, you just see the shelf in the background with the only the Roxy figurine posted up in a glass case.
If I'm getting the figurine, I'm getting the body pillow, the life-size cutout. I'm getting everything.
Kirk was over here just judging so hard.
I'm tattooing her on my palm so I can always look at her.
Jake.
While Kirkland's over there emailing the company seeing if he can make a life-size version.
No, that's absolutely far from what I am doing. I'm working on...
Sorry, Kirk. Let me know what they say.
Jake's like, I want it.
Because I'll buy two.
I hate you both.
But, yeah. I mean, as anybody notices, if you've ever seen the show and if you've seen that episode where like they just go into detail on the figurine, it is awkward as hell. But yep, the figurine itself is coming to production and sale. So yeah, I already know it's going to be sold out. I know that's just how it's going to go.
Well,
I'll see it. Yeah,
only time will tell.
I'll see it on TikTok in a few weeks.
Yeah. I have some news that's not on the list.
Okay. Let her rip before I dive into the next one.
I know you're going to be excited about this, Kirk. Tower of God Season 2 is in production. Let me repeat that. Tower of God Season 2 is in production.
We talked about that, I thought.
Yeah, I know.
But an Xbox party, not recording.
Oh. Well, regardless, I guess I'm excited for it, right? I just want What's-Her-Face to die.
Rachel?
Yes, Rachel. If Rachel could just die, that'd be great.
Well, here's all I'm going to say about Season 2. Hopefully we cover up to, the point where I want them to cover up to. If they have 24 episodes, it'll be perfect. But Season 1 is the prologue of the entire series, right? Now they are actually regulars climbing the tower. So the story with Season 2, this is when it actually starts popping off.
I mean, I'm excited. Okay, I'm not trying to change the subject real quick here, but God of High School, I need a new season of. Please and thank you.
God of High School was a bad anime. It just had good fights and good animation.
Yeah, but that's all I wanted it for. I wasn't expecting much from the show, but it was a nice watch. It was fun to watch.
Here's the thing, John.
It wasn't half-assed when it came to the fights.
Here's the thing, John. Tower of God was the first Crunchyroll manhwa mix anime to come out, right? Season 2 is now in production. Then God of High School came out. So, who knows? Maybe in the near future we'll find out that God of High School Season 2 is in production.
Yeah, I'm not holding my breath.
I'm not.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I'm just, trying to cheer you up.
It's like wishing I had another season of Dead Man Wonderland. Come on now.
I'm just super happy because I had, it's been a year and a half. I had convinced myself it was never going to happen, and I just had to live with that.
Has it really been a year and a half at this point?
Yeah.
I want only... so, Jake, you read webtoons, right?
Yeah.
Have you read Only I Level Up?
Mm-hmm.
Solo Leveling?
Yeah, Solo Leveling.
Yes.
Sung Jinwoo?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want that to be an anime.
If that became an
and
anime,
the,
it would destroy everything.
That and the, what is it, The Hero Returns?
I don't remember.
Or The King Returns or something like that?
I don't remember.
The King's Avatar?
It's a somewhat...
No, that's
No. It's The Hero Returns. It's actually... I started reading it. Wild. Depressing wild.
I'll have to look into it. I saw, a guy made a video about why Solo Leveling probably won't ever be an anime. Even though, every time you see an article, it says Solo Leveling anime in production, when it's really not. Is because Japan is almost portrayed as a pseudo-antagonist throughout the series, and so Japanese animation studios are probably not going to want to adapt it.
Yeah. Also, it's called The Warrior Returns.
The Warrior Returns.
Yeah, look it up on Webtoons. You'd actually love it, Jakey.
Bet.
Well, I mean, I guess with that...
Oh, hold on. One more.
Oh.
Now that we're recommending Webtoons. Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. For those who know,
saved.
you know.
I have it saved.
You need to start it.
List.
Give it a shot. I promise you won't regret it.
I'm at the point on a lot of these where I have to, get a subscription to where I can finish it. Or, keep going.
Yeah.
I read all the way up to it and can, but speaking of releases, there's one that's not on that I didn't put into the notes that I saw today, but another one is Case Study of Vanitas. Kirk, I know you've watched this.
I only watched the first 3 or 4 episodes. It was good.
Yeah, I saw the first.
I don't know why I didn't continue.
I mean, it
watching
blew up.
Did it?
It's good.
It looked
blew up,
interesting.
yeah.
It's vampires, Jake.
I know. That's why I watched the first episode and then just started watching something else. It looked good.
Yeah.
I can't really speak on its actual
it
quality.
It's good.
It never had
But,
anything to keep you there, though.
I mean, yes and no. I kind of did it.
Jake's not going to stick with it because there's no waifu for him.
I don't really care about that. Vampires / cyberpunk, I'm locked in.
Anybody who's actually followed the show or wants to follow the show, at least we don't have to wait too long. It came out the spring season, so it hasn't been too long. Spring or fall season. Part 2 is already coming out January 14th, so we'll get a conclusion for at least this season, which I'm excited for. I don't know if either of you watched Prison School?
Yeah.
The author has announced they're launching a rom-com manga series coming out in 2022.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
I mean, I don't know if it's going to follow along the risque.
Prison School was
Prison
special and funny for what it was, but I don't need any more of it.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to... But at the same time, they said that about Redo Healer. I mean, we know what Redo Healer is at this point. But we didn't expect much out of the Redo Healer that was going to be anything legit. And we got the assassination show that we've been watching every single week.
Fair enough. Well, I'm not saying Prison School is bad. I like Prison School. I think it's a good, funny show. I just
but it's definitely
wouldn't watch another one of it.
Risque-esque,
yeah,
to say the least. It's definitely follows a different line than any of the other shows are concerned. So going in a different direction doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing.
But based on where the points that Finest Assassin has hit, there's been a couple points where I thought it was going to redo of Healer. Like this freaking hot tub scene, or the spa scene in the most recent episode.
I'm surprised it hasn't taken it to a new level. But at the same time, I knew that it wasn't going to go nearly as bad as Redo Healer, solely based on the fact that it was released on Crunchyroll.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping it wouldn't. I liked the whole show, but this spa scene was like, there was no point to it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, there's a few shows on Crunchyroll that, like, are 18 and up, for sure. High School DxD. But,
when are we going to get a season 5 of that? That's the question.
Dude, the season 4 just finished up, like,
years ago.
Half a year ago.
No,
it's not that old.
Yeah,
I
years
definitely
ago.
feel like I've seen stuff on...
season 4, I watched season 4 literally like 3 years ago. And it was old by that time.
But I mean, even High School DxD. Oh, dude, it says season 5 is supposed to be released December 2021.
Oh, well, that's very convenient. Glad we brought it up.
Like, I mean, I haven't seen anything on it, but supposedly, I mean, it was updated in November, middle of November, so
Yeah.
we'll see. But, no, I mean, like I said, it's on Crunchyroll, so I didn't expect to, like, you're never going to hit the Redo Healer levels if you're on Crunchyroll.
Wasn't that on Crunchyroll, like, at first?
I mean, probably. It was probably like a age block, but it wasn't nearly... Maybe the first episode. The first episode's fucking terrible, too.
Oh my god, dude. Redo Healer?
Redo a Healer's just... Ugh. It's
mean,
not
like,
anime, it's hentai. Let's just say that.
The thing is, I watched like 2 episodes of it, and the thing is, like,
the fights aren't that bad.
well, it has a good story and good fights and all that stuff, and it could have been a great show if it just tamed itself.
Yeah. It was definitely like all the like weebs who like never, who just had this fantasy for all these years and just wanted to do it. Like,
Yeah.
make it. Like, I don't know. It's definitely a brutal show to watch. And I already know that I know somebody who I recommended it to, sort of recommended it to. And he watched like the whole thing at work. Like, bro, like, I don't know if that's the best place to watch it. But
No, it's not.
he was sitting in the work truck just watching it, like, updating me every day. But anyways, moving on to our last news article here. We're on the topic of new releases. We've gotten a lot announced. I mean, last week's episode was all about new releases, but within the week, we've got new releases on new releases. Netflix announced a movie that they're releasing, and I've seen it blowing up on YouTube and TikTok. All these people talking about it. It's called Bubble. It's from Wit Studios, so it's a big name studio. They're behind Attack on Titan. It's directed by people who wrote Attack on Titan, and the writer Urobuchi, I think it's close. You'd appreciate this, Jake. He wrote Psycho-Pass, which I know you love.
Yeah, Kirky's a fan too.
Yes, I am.
And so, I mean, there's a huge list of people who are behind this show, like big name, big hitters that are behind this show. In case anybody haven't seen it, the trailer shows Tokyo that has been cut off from the rest of the world after mysterious bubbles that manipulate gravity have flooded the cities. The city has become a place where groups of young people use their city as a battlefield for team parkour battles, jumping between buildings. The story follows the youth named Hibiki, and who recklessly styles almost costs him his life if it wasn't for a mysterious girl named Yuta. They learn about a sound that can only be heard by them that will lead them the way for the mysteries that are uncovered and a revelation that will change the world. Honestly, I've seen a few trailers and I've seen some pictures. It actually looks kind of sick. It's got like a very like bright like art style, which definitely follows along a parkour-esque storyline.
Yeah, I've seen the trailer. It looks looks pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I didn't see anything on it. I never saw anything on it until just scrolling through TikTok one day or whatever, and then a few YouTubers I saw put it on their like top list and stuff. So it definitely is. I mean, you got Netflix's money backing it, and you got these big name directors and writers and artists behind the actual show. So I think it could be halfway decent. I know Netflix is like slowly progressing into the realm of anime. They're really getting there as far as putting some decent shows out. So be interesting to watch and see. I thought it was going to be a show at first, not a movie, but either way, I'm kind of excited to see it.
Yeah.
But I guess with that, we will dive right into our main topic. I say right into as if we haven't just spent the last 50 minutes shooting the shit. Try to make it quick. This week, we're back to our usual topic, top tier or steer clear. We break down and tackle shows that have come to its completion by rating it in 3 different categories, seeing how they stack up to other shows we've covered over the past weeks and weeks to come. It's going to go right on the Facebook. This week, we're covering Kirk's show choice, Ergo Proxy.
Ergo Proxy? You mean Ergo Proxy?
Ergo Proxy.
Ergo Proxy.
Ergo Proxy. The series had 23 episode run from February to August 2003. The plot revolves around a domed city of Ramdo, which is one of the last human civilizations on Earth. Thousands of years ago, a global ecological catastrophe doomed the planet. Now life outside these domes are virtually impossible. To expedite mankind's recovery, autoraves, humanoid-like robots, have been created to assist people in their day-to-day lives. However, the autoraves have begun contracting a disease called the Cogito virus, which grants them self-awareness. Riel Mayer, granddaughter of Ramdo's ruler, is assigned to investigate the phenomenon along with the autorave partner Iggy. But what begins as a routine investigation quickly spirals into a conspiracy as Riel is confronted by humanity's darkest sins. Wow, I like that explanation more than I like the show.
Wow.
That was a really long explanation.
Well, I mean, it was well done at least. And so, I mean, let me put it this way. Our 3 categories that we dive into are the plot, the animation, and the characters. So we give a 1 to 10 score for each category from all 3 of us, average them out, then do a total average, see where it stacks up on the list. This is Kirkland's show, so we will start off with him and how he feels about the plot.
The plot is a little hard to follow, admittedly. Towards the end. Not just a little, a lot.
Nah, I got it more towards the end than I did towards the beginning.
Alright, so the beginning makes a little bit of sense, at least you think you understand, and then all of a sudden, like, the middle parts happen where Vincent's just killing all the proxies and jumping from dome to dome, and you're like, what the fuck is happening? Like, especially, like, the game show, like, the 2 or 3 episodes that they're in the game show, that's pretty confusing.
Yeah, the Jeopardy?
Yeah,
which is technically another proxy, but...
Yes, it's a proxy ability.
Which, like I said, look, Kirk or Jake was kind of explaining it earlier to me, but like it doesn't ever explain that type of thing.
Yeah.
You kind of have to put 2
the
and 2
carnival
together.
was another proxy as well.
Yep. Yeah. I would give the plot for this a 6.5. Because ultimately, like, it does wrap up pretty well and you understand it in the end. Like, the last 2 episodes really kind of just wrap everything up and you understand, like, they kind of put a little bow on it and say, look, this is everything that happened. And
yes and no.
Well, they left it open to interpretation because you have the creator, right?
Yeah. Well, it's the other Vincent that kind of...
It's not the other Vincent, though. It's Proxy 1. Proxy 1 and Ergo Proxy are 2 separate entities, but until that point, you don't know that.
Yeah, Proxy 1's technically, like, his dad.
Yes.
Yeah. In a sense, yes.
They created him, right?
Vincent's kind of a... Yeah, we're going to go with that, yes.
Proxy 1 and Monad Proxy created Ergo Proxy.
Monad
to get revenge on the humans.
On the creator, not on the humans.
On the real humans, yeah.
Yes, correct. Okay, yep.
Yeah, and the creator created proxies to exterminate, well...
No, they created proxies
pretty much wipe the slate.
They created proxies to like, revive the Earth.
Yes.
Yes, the Earth, not humans.
Well, the real humans are in space. The humans you see in the domes are not real humans.
Yes, but like they were created to pretty much wipe the slate clean and start over.
Yeah.
No, they were created to revive, and then there was like an exit strategy put in without the proxies knowing about when they complete their mission and revive the Earth, and it comes back and the skies open up, the sunlight kills the proxies, which in turn kills all the people that they've created in the domes, so that they're not there to get in the way of the real humans when they come back down.
Yes.
Which is what Proxy 1 found out, and that's why he created Ergo Proxy, to get revenge on the real humans / the creators.
Because Ergo Proxy... Well, you have to remember, Proxy 1 also was jealous of humans for whatever reason and wanted to be human. So there's kind of a split ulterior motive there, that he wanted to be human as well and not just be a proxy. Also another reason that Vincent Law was created. Vincent was... it's weird though, because he's still Ergo Proxy, but he's human. So I'm curious. Like, the sunlight can't kill him, right? Like, I guess.
Well, he was created
it's open
for
to
that
interpretation.
purpose by Proxy 1, because
so
when the blue light, the sun comes back, all the proxies are gonna die. But they created Vincent specifically so that he could survive the sunlight and go about getting their revenge on the humans when they come back down, because he'll be the only one left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, let me put it this way. If you're confused by what we're talking about, yes.
Let me clarify. All this knowledge I have about this, I did not get from the show. I watched a bunch of videos afterwards explaining what happened.
Really?
Which is a big part.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, like, I watched the whole show in its completion and, like, still needed a little bit of insight. I don't know if it's because I'm dumb or if it's just, like, you know...
I finished the show.
I liked
and
the
was
first
like,
half
okay.
a lot better, actually.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm being honest, I like the first half a lot better. Like, I know what they were doing with the second half for the most part, but I didn't like the episodic, like, drawn out things they did in the second half.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I know they were trying to cover and, like, come across different proxies throughout their journey, but I didn't really like it that way. Like, because, like you said, we were talking about this earlier, Jakey, like, the 2 episodes that I just thought were filler ended up being proxies. But you never even, like, unless you're, like, really thinking hard on the show, you wouldn't really understand, like, you wouldn't get that concept.
Yeah, well, the game show, I think you're correct. You can kind of pick up that he's a proxy, but it doesn't tell you that.
Well, the only thing was the fact that there was all these auto raves.
I will say, this being my third time watching Ergo Proxy through, there's a lot of stuff that you notice, especially in the first half, that it's like, wow, what the heck? Like, there's a lot of stuff set up in the beginning that you're just like, why is this happening? And then when you watch... Like, when you watch it a second time, everything kind of starts to make sense, and it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So, like, you remember how there was the massacre in the mall in the beginning?
Yeah.
You know how Rawls, the head of security?
Yeah, that was his family.
That was his wife and child that died. They got killed. You know who the proxy is that died, right? That Ergo Proxy killed?
Which one?
What, Monad?
So Monad was the proxy that he killed, but she was crying when he killed her because she's confused, right? Like, she wasn't trying to kill Ergo Proxy. Like, they were kind of there was a lot of confusion for both of them.
She's technically his mom and also his lover.
Yes, correct. Because when they split Vincent and Proxy 1, he lost his memories of being Proxy 1, but Ergo Proxy still had some sort of, affiliation to Monad, like some sort of, not affiliation, but inclination, like, oh, this is my lover, I love them, but at the same time, Vincent didn't know that, and Ergo Proxy didn't really know that. But Ergo Proxy is the proxy.
And Vincent are like drawn to each other.
Correct. Yes, because Riel is a clone of Monad. Which brings up the question, is Riel totally human, or is she a proxy?
She's a clone of a proxy, but without those specific proxy cells. Because the clone that Daedalus makes afterwards, he says that this one I did it right, and I put those cells in her, and I finally created the perfect Riel.
Yeah, which kind of brought it all to a conclusion at the end anyways, when she flew back up to the real humans.
No, she didn't fly up to the real humans. She flew up so that the sun would kill her.
Really?
Yeah, she died at the end.
I thought she was flying up to... Okay, well, I know she was flying up into the sky. I thought she was flying up towards...
The anime doesn't put... So I read the manga for Ergo Proxy 2, right? The novel, whatever you want to call it. The thing that they describe poorly in the end that I don't know if you two caught on to is Ergo Proxy is not really the proxy of death. Did you guys get that? Monad is really the proxy of death, which... I guess isn't well explained, which is unfortunate. And the reason that...
Well, it gives hints to it towards the end of, like, the last few episodes.
Yes, absolutely.
The last, like, 6. Like, it, like, gives hints, like, his, like, inner monologue talking about, like, he can see Vincent, he can see all this stuff going on, and, like, he just talks about, like, consistent destruction, and that's all he ever wants in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, death and destruction is what, like, his goal was.
Correct. Yeah. Proxy 1 was the proxy of magic in reality.
With that, I gave it a 5.5.
Slightly better than average.
Slightly better than average. Because I like so after watching it and reading, like, stuff on it and watching videos or whatever, I like the concept. I like the overarching plot. I just thought all the mashed together stuff in the middle didn't do it for me. Like, I feel like they could have rearranged certain things or, like, done different things to make it better for me. Jake, what do you got going on here? What do we got?
I gave it a 6.5. It was lower until I watched a bunch of videos on the plot. And what I have to say about it, knowing what I know now, is... First off, cyberpunk's my favorite genre. Kirk, you know that.
Yeah.
The first half of the series, when they're in Rondo, love every second of it. Thought it was awesome. The world they had in the dome was dope. Really liked it. The second half didn't do it for me because, one, it was confusing, and two, we weren't in a cyberpunk setting technically anymore, and I don't know, I didn't really like the second half, except for the fact that Riel was there. But my overarching thing I have to say about this show is it has a really good story that it doesn't portray very well.
That's kind of where I sit on it.
So I gave it a 6.5.
All right. Well, I mean, averaged out, we got a 6.2. So, not the best, not the worst. I guess we'll move right into our characters. How we feel about our characters, Kirk?
The characters, I'd give a 9. I that's the best part about this show, honestly, for me. I'd give it a 9.3. this has some of the best characters, in my opinion, best character development, and it's wild in the sense that you just have so many dynamic characters, and it's just a very unique build, especially in the end when you're seeing the difference between Proxy 1 and Ergo Proxy, or Vincent Law, whatever you want to call it. And there's just very good development of everything.
Hold on. We lost you there for a sec.
Oh, my bad.
His audio should still be going through on his end, though.
Yeah, but I can't reply to what he said because I didn't hear any of it.
Yeah, true. All right, repeat that real quick, Kirkland.
All right, hold on. So I gave it a 9.3, 9.2.
Yep.
Essentially, I think it has some of the best character dynamics and best development of characters throughout the show. Pino is one of my favorite characters. I think it's really cool because you see the development of a soul with the Cogito virus and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
The proxies are kind of wild. You see Vincent like all confused and stuff. They do a very good job with like the regaining of his memories and just kind of all of the characters, like basically their mental state. Like the whole time that Riel is going around with Vincent, like observing him and stuff. Like I just thought they did a very good job with their characters, and this is one of my favorite anime with regards to characters that exists.
Yeah, so you're right. I mean, as far as like, I gave it an 8. And Pino is the GOAT.
Pino is definitely the GOAT.
Love her character. I love her character. You didn't really know that she was gonna be such a like pivotal part in the show early on, with like just where she was like placed. You just thought she was gonna be another auto rave.
Yeah.
Just like in a rich household or whatever. They were just showing it.
Yeah, kind of. But I mean, the second that she ends up with Vincent in like the 3rd or 4th episode, you're just kind of like, huh. This
but
is
in those
weird.
first few episodes, she was in like with one of the nobles, like the rich people who were just who had her as a daughter.
Well, it was Raul. Pino was Raul's auto rave.
Yeah, because they were Daedalus came to check on her early on in the show because they said she was acting weird and like the whole 9, which was the Cogito virus. But you didn't expect it to be like, you just thought it was like a little plot point that was going to be, maybe expanded on later. But you didn't think she was going to be such a pivotal part.
And it's cool because she stays innocent, happy, and whatever through the whole entire like show.
The first 12 to 14 episodes, she doesn't ever really progress at all.
Hold on, that's not true, Kirky.
No. What?
She becomes sad when what's-his-name dies. She learns what being sad is. When that other kid dies.
When the kid dies.
Yes, yep.
Timothy.
Was that his name? Okay.
Yes. And she doesn't become sad. She just
is this what sadness
starts to understand. Yeah, she starts to understand what the emotion is and how to react to the emotion. Mm-hmm. It's like we talked about that with another show. Trying to remember what show we were talking about.
Oh, that was Ancient Magus Bride.
Ancient Magus Bride. Like, she's very much along the sense of like just starting to match emotions with a feeling. Like, not even necessarily a feeling. She just knows how to react to when certain things happen, which is technically an emotion in the first place. But you can definitely tell like when she progresses throughout the whole show. And it's funny. Like, she starts calling like Vincent Daddy and like the whole 9. I loved her character. And the episode you were talking about too with Riel, when they were just stuck on the ship and like there was no wind.
Yeah.
And it was just a whole exposition about her just like, I wanted to hate that episode so badly, but then after that episode happened, you could see the the complete change in like her demeanor, like her just like observing, and then towards the end, she just like starts to like. I feel like Riel didn't even have real emotions up until that point. Mm-hmm. like nothing like crazy at least, but she started to like understand a lot more, which made me think that she was like an auto rave for a while. Just like the way that she acted until that episode. But I gave it an 8. I thought that I actually did like the characters in this. I liked the few plot twists. I like the way that the main characters were portrayed. So I don't have too much of an issue with the characters in this. That I will like, give a decent score for. Jake, you're last. What's up?
I gave it an 8.5, which is the deciding number. Riel's my type.
What?
A little Evanescence
Edgy goth girl with lots of eyeliner?
You can definitely tell that this was made in 2003. I'll tell you that. Like, you definitely get some 2003 vibes.
Yeah, if that era came back, I would not be upset.
The goth girl with the blue mascara.
Yeah. Vincent Law was a really dope character. I didn't really like him. I thought he was a bitch until that
For
moment.
The longest time.
That moment where he's hanging off the edge of Rondo, and Riel's like, Vincent, and then he opens his eyes and gives her that look. I thought okay, I'll give him a chance. And then he turned out to be pretty dope.
The green eyes, dude.
Yeah.
The green eyes.
Yep.
That's a completely different take that a lot of shows would never do. Like, it would be red or like pitch black eyes or something, but like
just normal green
just
eyes.
like those, they were like bright green.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
They stood out, like,
And no one else has
see
green
many
eyes.
shows.
I have green eyes.
I'm talking about in the
No,
show.
in the show.
Oh, yeah.
In the show. Jesus Christ.
Anyways,
Really been here.
I gave it an 8.5. You guys pretty much said everything I was going to say. Loved Pino. Couldn't get enough of Pino.
For real. Animation. Last, but certainly not least. How do we feel about the animation, Kirk?
I'm gonna go with 6 on the animation. I don't think the animation was anything spectacular. 6.5 on the animation. I don't think it was anything spectacular. It was very muted. And it was purposefully muted, right? That's why I'm saying it's above average. Because I think it was well done. I think the fights were pretty cool. The muted animation isn't for me, and it might be for more people. I have to give it a low score because of how I felt about it. But it was well done, and I think that it's a niche thing that other people will very much like. Like Jake. Jake, what's your animation score?
Mine's a 7, but you're right. I really do like that style. I was about to say that.
Muted and dark.
The dark.
Yeah.
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 And I think it perfectly.
Yeah, like Berserk vibes.
I think it perfectly it perfectly fits the show.
Yes, like the never having blue skies or like any sort of light.
Oh,
or
absolutely.
whatever, like,
Yeah.
And
which is kind of the point in the
Living
first
in a dome.
yeah, I thought the animation was super smooth. The fights were cool. I liked the way it looked. It just, I only gave it a 7 just because, there was nothing exceptional about it. It was just good animation.
Yeah, that's kind of where I fell. It didn't and like I said, we got to give it like some sort of like the fact that it came out in 2003. It's somewhat of an older show, so you got to kind of give it some sort of. I mean, the fights aren't going to be like nearly as crazy as what we get today.
Yeah.
But it's also not what it's known for. Like, the fights are not like the big overarching aspect of the show.
No.
So, but it definitely fit the scene very well. So I gave it a 6. Like I said, I can't put it too high up there because there's some shows that I definitely feel like. But over the years, the animation definitely progressed as far as everything's concerned. Honestly, Kirk, the total score didn't come out too bad. 7-1. on a total.
That doesn't surprise me because it's not that bad of an anime. I would recommend watching it to people. It's definitely not my highest rated. It's a very different anime for a niche crowd, and I think most people that don't approach it from I only watch what I want to watch. If you're approaching it from the angle of I want to see something different that I can try to enjoy. From someone else's perspective, I think it can be very largely enjoyed. It's
my biggest part was just the fact that like I had to like focus and pay attention to this whole.
Yes, you
like that's one of this is one of the, and even then I didn't completely understand it all the way to the end.
Yeah.
Well,
like I said, this is my third.
There's aspects that
this is my third time watching it through. If you were to ever watch it through a second time, which I'm sure you will probably in like a year or two from now, like. The second time I watched it through, like I said, you'll notice like they never explain in the anime that Monad is the character they killed in the beginning. That was the proxy, and you see all this context and all this stuff that basically points out all the stuff that like the first half. There's so much set up in the first half. That you don't even realize, and then when you watch it a second time, you're just like, "Oh my gosh, that was that black and white that was there! Oh my gosh!"
Yeah,
it just makes you feel like an idiot. I mean, it's a very good show to watch twice, is what I'll tell people.
Yeah, for sure, and maybe when there comes a slow season or a slow area, I'll just I'll rewatch it or like bits and pieces, like I do with a lot of shows. But 7-1. I'm all right with that. It's a solid score. Put it up on the board. I don't know where it compares to the rest, but it's definitely higher than a few of them we had out there. So, so this week, I'm gonna run through it real quickly. We don't have a draft going on this week. There was issues on upload, so we're gonna run it back another week. I'm just gonna run through what we chose last week. We did do our favorite. Or well-known anime weapons. So Jake's list consisted of Dragon Slayer from Berserk, Wado Ichimonji from One Piece, Muramase from Akame ga Kill, Samaheda from Naruto, and Shogeki from One Piece. I had the Death Note from Death Note, the Executioner's Blade from Naruto, the Dominator from Psycho Pass, Pumpkin from Akame ga Kill, and the Sword of Rupture from Fate series. And Kirk had the Punisher from Trigun, Enma from One Piece, the Vacuum from Hunter x Hunter, the Divine Axe Rita from Seven Deadly Sins, and Crow's Blood Sword from Dead Man Wonderland. So I will post that up on Facebook. Make sure you guys go on there and vote for who you like most, and we'll run it back next week and do a new draft. Hopefully we have that all set up. Now I guess we'll just dive right into our outro. It wasn't really a short episode. It was a normal episode for us, which was to be expected at this point. But thanks to everybody for joining us. We're wrapping up episode 12 of the Anime Happy Hour podcast. Like I said in the beginning, feel free to reach out to us with any suggestions, questions, concerns. You can reach us at animehappyhour951@gmail.com. You can Facebook search us, Anime Happy Hour Podcast. Got a page going on up there. We are currently streaming on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcast, most of the places you can find podcasts that you can listen to. You can go right to our Anchor page. It's going to have links to everything. Facebook page, YouTube, the whole nine. So you can go right to anchor.fm/happyanimehour03. Make sure you keep up with us. We're going to keep you guys posted, Facebook and everything else is concerned. That's it for week 12. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Peace out, guys.
Ciao.
See ya.